Good morning, students. In this class, we will discuss on power flow studies. So first, we introduce power flow. Power flow. Power flow means flow of active and reactive power from generating station to the load center. So, it is the flow power flow of active and reactive power. It is the flow of active and reactive power from generating station to load to transmission line In this way, power flow means flow of active and reactive power from generating station to the load center through transmission lines. Now, in power flow study, second is power flow study. Power flow study is used to determine power flow studies is used to determine voltage, phase angle, and power at any bus or in a transmission line So in power flow study, we collect data of the bus and transmission lines, which are voltage, phase angle, and power. Power includes both active and reactive power. Power flow study is used. It is carried out for fault analysis, or we can say in short circuit conditions, and it is also used for planning of the power system. So basically, study of power systems or power flow is done for fault analysis, and fault analysis means to find out the data in case of short circuit conditions, and second, in case of to find the power system planning. Earlier, power flow study was done for AC analysis, this study was done for AC circuit analysis for AC circuit analysis. To collect the data of bus and transmission line, methods used: conventional methods, like mesh analysis and node analysis. Were used in this study. Basically, mesh analysis is used where number of mesh or closed paths are greater than number of nodes in the system, and node analysis is done where number of nodes are less than number of mesh or number of closed paths. So in our power system, number of nodes are less than number of nodes means busage. Number of busage are less than lines. Transmission or distribution lines So nodal analysis method is simple. Next is, there are some steps for the collection of data. Steps for collection of data. So first step is, first of all we have to draw single line diagram of the system. Draw single line diagram of the system. Second is, transmission line parameters are lumped parameters. Transmission line parameters are lumped parameters. It means we have to include inductance and capacitance effect of the line. Third is, node self and mutual admittance are determined. Node self and mutual admittance determine, and next is the shunt capacitance and per unit resistance and reactance between the terminating buses of the line are found. Shunt capacitance and series reactance, resistance and reactance are found. And in last, step number 5 is the operating conditions are selected. Operating conditions are selected. Now our next topic is types of buses in our power system. Next is types of buses. Types of buses in the power system. Buses are classified. Buses are classified based on specified and unspecified based on specified and unspecified quantities at the bus. Means classification of buses is done on the basis of specified or unspecified quantities at the particular bus. So first we classify. First is generator bus. Generator bus. Generator bus is also known as PV bus. It is also known as PV bus. So at this bus, specified quantities are power and voltage. So we can say that at this bus, specified quantities are active power P, and voltage V. Unspecified quantities are unspecified quantities are reactive power Q, reactive power Q, and phase angle delta, and phase angle delta. Next is load bus. So in this way, in generator bus, specified quantities are power and voltage. We know that our generator rating is given in power MVA and specified voltage is in kV, because our generator generates electricity at a specified voltage, due to which at generator bus power and voltage are specified quantities, and reactive power Q and phase angle delta is unspecified quantity, because these are variable, depend on load. So next type bus is load bus. Second is load bus. Second is load bus. At load bus, specified quantities are active power P and reactive power Q, and reactive power Q. So this type of bus is also known as PQ bus. Unspecified quantities are unspecified quantities are voltage V and phase angle delta. Phase angle delta. So these are the unspecified quantities, voltage V and phase angle delta. So we can say that at load bus we know that power is specified, in which both active and reactive power are specified, and voltage and phase angle are unspecified quantity, due to which this bus is also known as PQ bus. In our power system, most of the buses are PQ buses. Next is slack bus. Third is slack bus. This is generating bus. This is generator bus, or we can say that a slack bus is specified at generator bus. So specified quantities at slack bus are voltage V and phase angle delta, unspecified quantities are unspecified quantities are unspecified quantities are active power P and reactive power Q, and reactive power Q. We select a generator bus as a slack bus in our power system. One generator bus is selected as a slack bus in the entire power system. In this way, buses are classified based on specified or unspecified quantities. So there are three types of buses. One is generator bus, second is load bus, and third is slack bus. At generator bus, we have seen specified quantities are power P and voltage V. So due to which generator buses are also known as PV buses, and unspecified quantities are reactive power Q and phase angle delta. Similarly, at load bus, specified quantities are active power P and reactive power Q, due to which these buses are also known as PQ buses. Unspecified quantities are voltage and phase angle. In our power system, most of the buses are PQ buses. And last is slack bus. In our entire power system, we select a generator bus as a slack bus. Here specified quantities are voltage and phase angle, and unspecified quantities are active power P and reactive power Q. So these are the types of buses in our power system. So thank you for today's class.